And we are the non-prophets, he said. She looked at him askance. Yes, I know, but don't you think you, Jamie, Kevin, and even Derek Hawke are saying that a few days early now? What do you mean, he asked incredulously. We're still at the Free Thought Library in Austin, Texas. Is this because it's August 3rd? She looked at him sadly and sighed. It should be the 7th. Look, I know the show is sponsored by the Atheist Community of Austin, she said, and I know it's a nonprofit educational organization for the promotion of positive atheism and the separation of church and state, but and, she added, talking over him, I get it that you're supposed to be able to call the voicemail at 512-220-6561 or visit their website at www.atheist-community.org to learn more. Well, yeah, but now it's not live when you broadcast every first and third Wednesday of each month from 7:30 to 9 Central Time, she cried, her eyes pleading. What if people join the chat room by following the directions at www.nonprofitsradio.com? What will they find? He looked at her helplessly. They'll find what they always find, a community of like-minded individuals. He spread his hands. They'll still poke fun at us and offer corrections and argue with each other. That's what it's for. But is that enough? She cast around, looking for answers. What do we do now? Now we sit back and enjoy the show, he said quietly.
I do love the narrative intro, actually. When you started, bizarre. I was sort of like, it's another Loubetism. And then, it was great.
Yeah,
I like it.
I tried to do a little story, It
was real pretty.
Little story. Welcome to the show. As Dennis just said, I'm Jamie Boone, and with us, guest appearing, Derek Hawke. Derek,
yay!
Who are you, and why are you here?
Oh, gosh.
In a friendly way.
Yeah. yes.
Who are you, and what do you do here? My name is Derek Hawke. I am a co-host on the Atheist Vanguard. I'm also a YouTuber. I do entertainment videos of horrors and graphic arts and whatnot. But mostly cool. I'm here to ask why you believe what you believe.
A decent question.
Why come? Why come you believe that?
Why come you believe that? Yeah. And there's that. So what have you been up to the last week that's interesting and relevant?
You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. Right. Well, I can go to Dennis first. Dennis, you been up to anything?
Oh, yeah. I've been up to not selling a damn thing on my store. Yay!
Oh, where could people find your store?
Oh, well, that's
they wanted to find
entirely
your store?
Commercial thing going on.
Yeah, where is your store if the people wanted to find it?
Main Quest Studios.
They could mainqueststudios.com. If they wanted to learn more, they could Google Main Quest Studios.
Yes.
All right, cool. Yeah. And they would give your work the attention that it deserves.
Yeah.
Excellent. You got anything else to add before we go into our first story?
No.
Hey. Well, lucky for you, or say unluckily, given that I've put this much, hey, Derek, carry the show. I think you have our first story.
Yes, I do. It's called When Exorcists Need Help, They Call Him.
The Super Exorcist.
By John Blake of CNN. This was sent from a viewer, Kurt Merschel, via the TV@email.com.
Hey, thank you, Kurt.
So this article, again, comes from CNN. It is in regards to a priest who is a consultant to the Catholic Church on exorcisms.
A consultant?
A consultant.
Okay.
This is just like the movie The Conjuring.
The freaking expert.
Yes. So he believes that there is no contradictions between the mysticism of Catholicism, that mythology, and science.
I think he's wrong.
Well.
But go ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
So the doctor is Dr. Richard Gallagher, who is an Ivy League educated, board-certified psychiatrist who teaches at the Columbia University and New York Medical College.
And yet somehow still an idiot.
And still an idiot.
Still wrong, yeah.
So he claims to be the mediator between what is supernatural and what is true mental health.
I feel like I could do that job as well very easily. I don't need a credential.
So we're doing no true mental health now as a...
Well, no, I think he thinks it's some things, right?
Yep. Gallagher calls himself a consultant on demonic possessions. For the past 25 years, he has helped clergy distinguish between mental illness, what he calls the real thing. He estimates that he has seen more cases of possession than any other physician in the world.
Oh,
which is
I think he's seen this
You
in
know,
the Mount.
that introduction could be accurate if all that he ever said was, no, it's not possession, it's a psychological problem. But apparently that's not what he's saying.
Yeah, no, that was my illusion. Was I think that I could evaluate. This person has these behaviors. Do you think it's demonic possession, or should this be an issue for mental health?
Yeah, I bet I could do it with a
provide the correct answer.
I could do it with a better hit rate than this guy.
Yeah, because sometimes he's wrong. And
now, have any of you ever experienced something that you could attribute that without a critical mind attribute to a supernatural? Because our mind is a crazy thing. We're pattern-seeking creatures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, consciousness.
Yep.
Okay. But that's an argument from ignorance.
Yes.
Since I don't know how it works, no other that does not point me in a direction for an explanation.
Right.
No. When you say that, do you mean have you ever had a weird experience that's patterns?
The one that comes to mind is sleep paralysis.
Oh, phenomenon. Okay, that's what you mean. Yeah.
Now, I've suffered from sleep paralysis, and it actually was triggered during a time when I was searching. I bought a Ouija board so I could get lottery numbers. That's how stupid I was.
Well,
right.
Wrong.
I see that.
Wrong. Yeah.
And it didn't work. But I was convincing myself that there was some other world out there, and that I had tapped into something, and I experienced.
It's easy to do.
Exactly. I experienced a chronic sleep paralysis, and it was very invasive. Looking back on it, I saw how easily I could trick myself into attributing a cause to this. But also what I saw was how quickly others jumped in on this bandwagon and had solutions, had interventions, and they were all either go see a priest or go light a candle or wave sage in the air. I don't like sage. It doesn't smell that good.
Yeah.
And I was in a military dorm room, and if you go burning sage, you get that little secret police coming and knocking on your door, wondering what you're smoking up in there.
Yeah.
The weirdest things I've had are like things that I didn't know how to visually parse. I mean, it was either a trick of perspective or something, but I'm looking at a thing and I'm going, what is that? I'm turning my head this way and that, and I can't describe it. I can. Yeah. It's weird.
It's like misinterpretations your brain is making on like lights and shadow. As an artist, you can see that. I was hanging out with some friends, and one of them was actually an ex-Catholic priest who is currently a meteorologist. I ain't going to get into that story. But I was looking at a corner, and there was a house plant, and I turned to him. I said, "This is how religion works. If you look at that plant and you look at a certain way, you see that leaf there, that's her hair. You see that other leaf and that stem, that's her eyes. Right there's the Virgin Mary." And boom, he saw it. Because we are pattern-seeking creatures.
Yeah. Visually.
It's almost like a play. What I was doing was playing a game of mind control. I could convince you, or I could make you see what I wanted you to see.
Sure.
Yep.
And this is just me being an amateur. There are experts,
literally
professional con men.
Use this principle.
Every time I go downtown to Six and Red River, I can find one of these, a professional who makes people float and disappear into basically a giant hamster wheel. And, that's not all that Esther's Follies has to offer in addition to the Magic Act. So the Magic Act.
I can't stress how dangerous this type of thinking is when you link mental illness and demon possession or any type of supernatural connection. It is so dangerous. It is so demeaning to people who actually suffer from these diseases, whether it be full-blown schizophrenia, paranoia, or simple depression.
Yeah, because you also then provide no answers and give no capacity for further treatment whatsoever. So does he have more to say on one? Do we have any idea what it is to be a consulting priest? I was pretty sure that the Catholic Church didn't get outside help when it was.
Sounds like the basis for a movie or TV show.
It is. It's called The Conjuring.
Oh God, no!
I haven't seen The Conjuring. Is it as bad as I thought it was going to be?
Oh, it was good.
Really?
I got scared.
Well,
They do. The article does. I haven't found the exact portion of it, but it does talk about how the secret of the Catholic Church is, and that it's rare that it brings an outsider in. But because of his long-standing relationship with the Catholic Church and the rapport they developed,
and his belief in demons.
Yeah. That helps.
So Gallagher has two ways of giving back. He says, helping the mentally ill as well as the possessed.
I think one of those is great.
Wow.
Contemporary Catholicism don't see faith and science as contradictory. Its leaders insist that possession, miracles, and angels exist. But global warming is real, so that evolution and miracles must be documented with scientific vigor.
So have they documented any miracles? Because that tells me whether or not they're using scientific vigor.
Well, so this is when we get into other articles like about Bigfoot.
Oh, Bigfoot. Yeah. Is he a big feet hunter? He hunts them feet.
Bigfootses.
Oh,
He's a
boy.
Bigfooter.
I met a real Bigfooter.
You know what they say about Bigfoot hunters? They've got a big time waste of a hobby.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lord.
man.
It's interesting because the Catholic Church won't get outside help from experts if it's trying to deal with child rapists, but it will for demons.
Right.
They take that problem.
Good point.
They take that problem
That
very
deserves a
seriously.
big fist bump.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, those demons. We need this outside help. But no, we've got the child rapists under control. Apparently.
This reminds me of a story. When I was young in church, we had it was a non-denominational, fundamentalistic, evangelical church.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And this preacher got up on stage, and I remember this specifically. He talked about when he was younger, he used to go witness to the patients at the mental hospital, the state hospital.
Oh, that would doubtless help.
Well, he would say that when he would arrive, the inmates, as he referred to them, would get all riley behind their closed doors, and they would scream and yell the moment he walked in, and they would point and say that man is covered in blood, that man is covered in blood.
Oh, and it's the...
And even as a child, I'm like, that is bullshit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was a 10-year-old, and I was like, that is bullshit. And the harm, and this is when you see, certain religions, especially the evangelicals, that weaponize mental illness. It's used to justify their religion. We just discussed the NIB church where they actually were praying for depression to fall upon the gay population, so they would kill themselves before they would sick the government on them.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole extra bag of worms of wanting all them non-straights to die. Although I don't think they've ever said non-straight, so...
Yep.
So they've got a consultant that believes in demons. I mean, when I was growing up, it used to be that, like, you'd make fun of the medicine man and his shaking of rattles to drive the evil spirits away. Well, now it's like mainstream has embraced demons and rattle shaking and stuff.
So living in Austin, in this general area, even in the South, have you heard of the curanderas?
No.
I've heard of them, but I don't know.
So they are the Mexican Tex-Mex witch doctors.
Okay.
Usually a female, really in depth in Catholicism as well, kind of like a kind of the homeopathic medicine and witchcraft and Catholicism.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of mixing of Catholicism and what were, the local mythology.
Right. We usually call mashups.
Oh, yeah. The spiritual mashup throughout Central and South America, unfortunately.
But you know what? I get it. This is cool. Demons are cool.
I guess,
they make for cool stories. They make for the heroic story of light against darkness, the battle between good and evil, where the good guy wins. And honestly, I never got it.
Makes for a great narrative.
It does. The narrative is much better than actually this is a sort of illness, and elements of it may very well stick with you for the rest of your life. And to treat it, you have to change aspects of the way that you live and go through therapies and perhaps continue to take medication is much more boring and like, but it's not me, it's something from outside me. Yeah. So I want a dramatic ritual that banishes the demon.
Right.
so that I could be, one of these two things is much more appealing to the human mind when it's uncritical.
And it empowers a Christian, because I believe one of the powers that was promised by Christ was the ability to cast out demons.
Yeah.
Right.
Cast out demons in his name.
In his name. Actually, you just have to, they fear his name so much, you just have to mention his name and
Jesus!
be gone.
Yeah, no demons here. Boom.
Power of Christ compels you.
Yeah,
And they
to
can-
say Jesus
they can-
and banish the demons.
They can detect supernatural beings
Yeah.
and positively identify them and then
Well,
get rid of them.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like,
normally
what
when there's
the
a
hell?
demon, the room gets really cold and you can see your
Yeah.
breath.
These weird...
And the crosses fall off the floor.
The demons have superpowers and the exorcists have superpowers, so it's bizarre.
Yeah. Well, it's the like mightier than you would expect and fighting about it narrative, right? We've recently the giant arc of Tony Stark from
If you
beginning
spoil that
to-
movie, I will demon possess you if I die.
That's not how demons. Well, okay.
That's not how any of this works.
That is literally not how any of it works, and most of it doesn't work at all. But
I will demon possess the hell out of you if you spoil that movie.
you're looking for the phrase "I will haunt you."
I will do
and
that too.
Also, that's not a thing.
I'll do that too.
I'll go to hell,
Your
become a demon, and
superstitious
then
bullshit correct,
possess you
sir.
and make you fart. Yes, that's
Is there any mythology where after you die and potentially become a ghost, you can like level up eventually to be a demon?
become an angel or a demon. Yeah,
There's
I don't
like-
know.
There's ghost possessions. There's
There was
one,
the Michael Landon movie, TV series. Where he
I don't
was
know,
like,
man.
he was doing good and then he could level up to be an angel.
Oh, cool.
then
I
he
got
got
the
pancreatic
impression that, evil people going to heaven, when I was a kid, I got the impression that evil people going to heaven could, if they were really evil, they could get their pitchfork and forked tail and little horns if they just really applied themselves enough, just like, people who go to heaven get their wings and their little harp and stuff.
Oh, so you mean
it's like,
evil people going to hell?
yeah, evil people going to hell, if they're evil enough and really apply themselves,
You could
can get the
graduate from
pitchfork
demon
and then
college,
be the,
and
then
then
be
you
the
could-
demon that's poking the souls.
You
yeah.
could be the demon poker.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I was gonna say that.
I thought you came back and became a demon and haunted people that spoiled movies.
Well,
Okay, I believe
that's
that
a
this
special
is a very,
circle of hell. Yeah.
That's a very, very recent look. In my version of all of this, it would be like not Good Omens inspired, but like the quasi that and quasi like Douglas Adams inspired of like, okay, so you would die and your spirit goes through hell processing. So you have a grievance still on earth with me spoiling a movie.
Yes.
For example. And so you would apply for permission to haunt.
Yeah.
And then if granted that, you would go and
Yeah.
do that. And then you could try and apply yourself and work your way up through the bureaucratic systems of hell.
No, I'd probably stick with you till I'm done.
Well, no, yeah, but
Start
then,
with little whispers
but then
in your ear.
if you demonstrated that you had
Then I'd knock
skill,
shit off yourself.
Yeah, but if you demonstrated that you had skill in doing that, then you might be tapped for like demon training. And if you worked and applied yourself enough, you could graduate like demon school
Yeah.
and do this. I'm inventing
Well,
my own hell now, but I
yeah.
think you could even
Well,
get like
know-
casual Christians to buy into it because as long as you say that bureaucracies are hell, you can get lots of people to buy.
So hell's like a pyramid scheme?
I mean, yes, you could do that as well, I think.
But in reverse, it's circles of hell.
It's
that go down
It's
rather
a
than up.
spherical scheme.
But the thing
actually.
is, if Dante had come up with a special circle of hell just for people who spoil movies, and until motion pictures were invented, people would go, well, it says movies here, but I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
And then we invented movies, and then we know exactly what it means. That would actually be evidence.
Yeah, and actually, if it included, this is how you
Right.
construct,
But of course,
you
that
know,
never
reel-to-reel
happens.
film and tell this story, it'd be like, no, I have divine knowledge that eventually these will be created, and this is how this will work, and not everyone will see it at the same time. And if you spoil surprise endings, then here's the circle of hell. Right now, it's empty, right? The renovations will be done long before the first movie is made,
Yeah.
and it's going to be terrible. Just you wait and hope not to see.
Well, I have to imagine that people spoiled the ends of Greek plays,
Well, this
Well, I
brings
feel
up,
like
an,
at
this
that
brings up
point,
an interesting
everyone's seen
point.
it.
People are assholes. They've been assholes all.
Yes.
And you'd think that there'd be a bunch of people being demon possessed because they're assholes in life and they're getting back by the people that they pissed off, but that's not happening.
right?
Because if he spoiled that movie, I damn as hell would be haunting his ass.
Are you telling me that my version of hell and cosmic after you're dead whatever that I've just made up isn't true? That's insulting to me. I believe this on faith, sir. How dare you question my bureaucratic hell scheme?
Yeah. My magic baby is better than your magic baby.
Well, my what?
That's how different religions.
Oh no, it's my sky cake beats your sky baklava. Basically, it's the
Baklava.
No, it's
Isn't that
it's
a
Patton
character from
Oswalt.
Mortal Kombat?
It might be. I think it's some kind of dessert. I don't know, but it's a
Baklava, fight!
That brings up an interesting point. Last week during Vanguard, during the live chat, I asked the question: if Jesus were a Mortal Kombat figure, what would his fatality be?
Oh, you would definitely crucify his enemy, or he would hang them such that their guts spilled out
Well, there's
over a field.
There's a YouTuber, Bionic Dance.
Oh,
One of her
yeah, she's
intros.
great.
One of her intros is a Mortal Kombat that she mocked up, where she's fighting. I think it's God, and she's going, logic.
She's spamming the logic move.
Spamming the logic
So,
button.
I see it.
Finally defeats God.
So I see it as the room gets dim, and he goes, Jesus wins. Fatality. Flawless victory. And he goes like this. He spreads his arms wide open,
Right.
and thorns come out of the ground and rip you apart.
Wow. Okay, we need some
think that's-
CGI for this.
Me too. I think so. It should either be
Get over here.
he crucifies himself. Probably he goes up on the cross, and then it's,
No, that's a fatality. You're doing it on your victim.
yes. Okay, so either his victim should get crucified, or his victim should suffer the supposed
Right.
fates,
Yeah.
both of them, of no, I've forgotten.
But being crucified is a good thing.
Wow. Yeah, that's why it happens to him, or
Right.
the
weird.
Judas fates, where he's hung and his guts spill out. No, it's
No, he falls in the pit.
Well, that's a
no, it's one of them. There's two versions.
Oh, yeah,
one of
yeah.
them he like falls down and it explodes,
explodes. The other he
And
hangs himself, and the
making
other,
a field
Yeah.
unable to grow things because he bought it with his 30 pieces of silver.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you guys that my superpower is tangential thinking.
Okay.
You sir are on
Yes.
the correct field of battle,
And
I
we
might
are
add.
far from consultants for the Catholic Church right
Yes,
now.
and we are the non-profits.
Do you want to hear an interesting story?
Tagline.
You want to hear an interesting story?
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, I was volunteering here during the day, and I was wearing a nonprofit shirt.
Okay.
And I went to go pick up lunch at a really nice little Italian restaurant. And I was wearing a nonprofit shirt, and a woman comes up to me, looks at my shirt, and goes, "Amen, brother."
Oh boy. Maybe
Amen,
she got
brother.
it. Maybe she didn't. Hard to tell.
So you were wearing one of the shirts that says "Atheists are non-profits."
Correct.
It has our logo and everything on it. Maybe she thought that it was like a dig at atheists.
I think so.
Like they're not prophets. Think she? Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
But I just like the way she said, "Amen, brother."
Cool.
Nice. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
which well whatever. It
The
doesn't
place in the
matter.
triangle.
Place in the triangle.
I don't know the names of the place.
It's fine. How long has this consulting priest been
20 years.
exorcising demons?
Whoa. Okay. Well.
Wait, so actually, hold on. Does he perform?
25 years.
Does he partake in the exorcism, or does he just
It's
say?
as a consultant. He looks like he. So the movie The Right was based on Thomas's work. He's respected in the field.
Wait.
He's not like most
The Right?
therapists.
Oh, the right with the
Anthony Hopkins.
Like a spiritual.
No, Anthony Hopkins? Hannibal Lecter.
Anthony Hopkins played Hannibal Lecter, but the right is as in like the right to Vector.
R-I-T.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that was
what changed his mind into believing that there were actual demon possessions was an incident he had with a middle-aged woman who demonstrated to him that she was actually demon possessed, relieving Gallagher of all his doubts. Objects would fly off the shelf. She somehow knew personal details of Gallagher's life, how his mother died of ovarian cancer, the fact that 2 cats in his house went berserk, fighting each other every night. He was talking on the phone with Julia's priest one night when both men heard one of the demonic voices that came from Julia during her trances, even though she was nowhere near the phone or thousands of miles away.
Wow. Well,
but he was never afraid.
I'm glad he has a raft of anecdotes to justify everything he believes.
It's possible that there's this Onion News Network bit where it's like, here's this man with advice on how to get revenge, and he gives this like lengthy description of like, oh, someone cuts you off in traffic, and so you casually follow them home, but you don't do anything. You just leave, and then you mess up their garbage in ways that they don't know, and you do all of these tiny little things to ruin their life. This woman could be that, because you can figure out, oh, okay, there's cats that fight near his house, and if you know where he lives, and he's talking on the phone, and this is 25 years ago, so it's a landline, so you can tap a landline and do the same voice that you've done in his house, and oh my gosh, his mother's died of ovarian cancer. It's 25 years ago. They still write all of these obituaries. This is all information that a mentalist could find easily to perform a psychic ritual. So I don't think this is what happened, but it's a more plausible explanation than that. And so maybe he drives aggressively, and this lady was done with it.
Somebody could just be fucking with him.
Yeah, that, or even more likely than that, it's all in your head.
I used to, when I was in the military, I worked in on a psychiatric ward, and we had a patient.
When you would walk in, they would all go, "That guy's covered in blood."
No, they were more like, "One of us." But we had a patient who their mother was schizophrenic, and her and her brother would mess with their mother by changing the clocks, and they
man,
moving things here and there.
Yeah. It's
wow.
Well,
that's mean.
There's a prank.
I kind of applauded her. I mean, it's like
there's a prank that a couple of my friends played on another one of my friends, which is that they had access to this person's like apartment, and there was a couple that lived there, and so the husband came home, and he went out in their backyard and he was doing something out there, and so they came home because we were going to meet there, and they rearranged the furniture and then hid in like a closet. And so when the wife came home, she went, "Wow, all the furniture is rearranged." Oh, okay. My husband's in the back. So she goes in the back and asks, like, "Why is did you rearrange the furniture for a reason, whatever?" And while the couple was in the back here talking, they came out of the closet.
Oh no!
And they put all of the furniture back to where it was normally, and then hid again. So from the husband's perspective, he comes home, everything's fine, whatever. And then his wife comes home and goes, "Why have you moved all the furniture around? Everything's in a different place." And they go back in and everything looks normal again.
That's
like
crazy.
Like,
have you ever been?
She's like, no, it was moved. I swear, this couch was over here. It was just,
have you ever been in a situation
like
that? Because I have, and it was my own because I'm just stupid, but...
Sorry.
Things happen.
Well, so I went to go drop off a prescription at HEB, and so there's Gaddy School Road, and then there's 79. The first day I went to the Gaddy School Road, I dropped off my prescription. The next day I went to the other road, and the other HEB, which was a super HEB, and everything. They even had like an electronics store.
Right.
And I'm like, how did I miss this?
Different.
And it is such a disorientating experience when you know that you're not crazy, but something is off. Something in reality just does not.
Right.
Something just does not fit together.
That's a demon. You're possessed by a demon. You're possessed
What's
by a
weird?
demon.
I must have spoiled somebody's movie.
What I have difficulty understanding
Probably.
is when people get in a situation like that. Well, not like that. They really have a mental problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's, I don't experience these people personally, and maybe it's just treatment in the movies. I mean, the movies lie, but
Often.
it seems to me that if you say you see something and everybody else says no, it's not there.
No, it's white
It
and
seems
gold.
like you defer to the people who would say no, it's not there. I mean,
Or you defer to the supernatural.
or you defer to the supernatural, which is the insane thing.
Yeah.
It seems like
That dress is demon possessed. So
I mean,
Well, return it, honey.
if somebody's
yeah, but it's black and blue definitely. So it's excellent.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
I mean, you see, people getting all paranoid and all this stuff, and you go, and it's like, well, find someone you trust, and then just let them handle your interpretation of everything.
Right. And that's the key, the interpretation. Whether it be somebody who is suffering from depression and joins a church and gets stimulated mentally.
Where is this story? Okay.
Mentally, the neurons start to fire, the endorphins from just sharing with people, and you attribute it to Jesus. Or you find your keys, or he turned Coke into Pepsi. It doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, I feel like the devil turns Coke into Pepsi, but I'd also like to emphasize that you don't have to have a
The devil
diagnosable.
turns Coke into Coke Zero.
Oof.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the devil drinks Coke Zero. His
I
name
would
is
agree
Dillahunty, and he appears on our sister show. So it's I'd like to emphasize that it doesn't take mental illness to be wrong or to hallucinate. Everyone does. You do more often than you know, because there's no way to distinguish it from your perspective at all.
Now, as non-believers, have you ever been in a situation where you wanted to attribute something to a supernatural cause, or you wished it so hard that there was a heaven, or that there was a God, or that prayer did work, or that you could believe again?
Well,
No.
I have. I mean, when I lose a loved one or a pet or something, I go, gosh, I wish there was a place where they could be, happy for eternity. I mean, that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But I know it's not true, and then I have to go, oh.
So last year,
Gone.
last year, my grandmother passed away from pancreatic cancer.
Sorry.
And thank you. And I went through what I consider a crisis of faith, where I wanted faith. I wanted it so bad. I wanted there to be a heaven. I wanted my grandmother to be there. I wanted the just the possibility that I would see her again. What I really wanted was the comfort that everybody else had from believing this untruth.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it comfort. I'd say you would want the same vehicle for denial.
Yeah, exactly.
It's-
Yep.
no, this
But
bad
they
thing
were comforting
isn't-
each other. They were grieving together. I didn't know how to grieve because I was made to feel guilty about grieving. Why are you sad? You don't believe in nothing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
sounds like you're
insulted
relative.
them
Damn.
because I insulted them because I didn't believe my grandmother was in heaven.
Right.
Not because she didn't deserve to go to heaven, because there is no heaven.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't think she's eating sky cake? What? You want her to starve?
Isn't that
Did you
manna?
ask your relative why they weren't happy she was in paradise?
No, I was watching them to.
no, because
I was
he's not
watching
an
them fight over
asshole.
the inheritance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because Derek's not an asshole.
Yeah,
so
well,
he wasn't being
right.
shitty.
He
to
wasn't
other
being
people
shitty to other
grieving.
people. I
Sorry,
understand that, but it's
I'm not
like
attacking you, Dennis.
that is
I just,
but that is the logical inference there. It's like, yeah,
But even
You're
to going through this
matched in
experience, it has an. I don't know how to say it other than it has been a spiritual experience where I can start to discover that part of my psyche, which I really had never considered before. I never really thought about death. I dream about my grandmother all the time, and they're so real and they're comforting. And maybe it's a defense mechanism. I know it's not her.
Right.
I know it's not any spirit, but they're so real, and I take comfort and I take joy in those experiences. I can touch her. I remember touching her. I can feel her nails into my hand. That's how. But like we're artists,
but it was intense. Yeah,
we're artists,
we're
so we can visualize these things.
Yeah.
And I take comfort in that.
Yeah.
If only you could just be to our level
I'm
of.
practicing sketching again. I'm getting back to it. I like it as a hobby.
Yeah, do you need a coloring book?
But do you?
Fuck you.
But do you go
No,
with
I
the
need
whole
pencils.
heaven, or do you invent your own realm?
I did that with my cat. So I had a
Mm-hmm.
Siamese cat of 10 years, and he
Yeah.
was what I would the closest thing I would consider to a soulmate. I was bonded with this thing.
You can get that way, yes.
And when I moved up here, he developed a severe allergy where he just basically couldn't breathe. He was suffocating. And when I put him down, I cradled his hand and his head in my hand, and I looked into his eyes. And this cat was known for his eye contact. It was just such intense eye contact. And I watched him go. And in my mind, I thought that if we were connected in this way, that when he went, that he would take a little bit of me with him, and that he would exist in this realm of comfort for all eternity. And if basically he would take a little bit of me with him, and I would have a little bit of him left with me. And I created this like we did with the demon thing. I created this fantasy because this little creature had brought me so much joy and so much love, and I could not bear the thought of the universe going on without the presence of this wonderful little creature. I love you, Riley.
Yes, I got.
That's, I'm glad that you found a way to grieve that loss.
Yeah. I'm still working on the most recent one, but that one was a hard one.
I'm sorry, your
And it also
family's making
it really puts your atheism and your non-belief and your skepticism to test. Because
does.
when life's going great, and I get in a discussion with a lot of atheists about this, about dying.
Loss, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I'm not scared of dying. There's nothing, just really the matter of fact, there's nothing after death. When I'm gone, blah, 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 blah. Without, and I'm like, what? I don't really think you really get it.
Yeah.
There's, I'm not afraid of dying. I am afraid of how I die.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I just can't conceive the thought of, again, the universe going on without me, and that's just my own egocentric.
Well, I'm afraid of, how it might feel to die, but I'm also, disappointed in what I'll miss.
Yes.
Yes, that.
And I always think of
so much
movies.
so.
I was like, there's people that died last month that don't get to see Avengers Endgame.
Right.
Or don't know how the Star Wars
And have
trilogy.
been looking forward to it, but didn't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, they're definitely, new world problems, but
Yeah.
just the thought that there's so much that I'm going to miss, and I'm not going to be here for that. And I question, what about my consciousness? What happens to all of this? And does it just blink out? And if
Just blinks out, as far as I know, man.
Yeah.
and I can accept that, but I can also conceive the thought that maybe there is something out there. I don't know. I'm not
Would
going to
be cool.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
Just like demons are cool.
Yep.
Just like angels are cool. Just like the realm of hell, the realm of heaven, the journeys to get there. Those are cool. Those are imaginative things.
And
that
they're
we come
great
up with.
stories.
They're
I don't know,
great
man.
stories.
I'm still trying to get my hands around this reality as we can observe it.
I know.
You add a whole spiritual realm, and then I have to decide, okay, am I actually going to learn how to use magic? How strong is it?
That's
how
because
hard
you're not
is
an
it?
artist.
What's the... Stop saying that shit. Just because I don't have the skill right now doesn't mean I don't have the vision and inspiration, because I definitely have those.
We can get you a paint by numbers.
I am going to... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sketch you getting possessed by a demon for
Okay,
for
is
shitting
it going
on
to
my
be stick
dreams.
figures?
All right.
The first one is the first one, just so that I can produce it. Ow. No, it's not. It's going to be beautifully sketched of just a demon kicking you right in the butt.
Love you.
Love you too. I'm not really going to sketch a demon kicking you.
But I'm still going to possess you if you ruin this movie for me.
I'm not going to ruin the movie. God, I'm going to be like, all right, sit back in the couch there. We're going to watch it now. And then, boom, can't be ruined for you. Quit talking about possessing me or whatever.
So, do we have another news story?
We do have another news story. Do you want to introduce the Joshua Harris story?
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah. If you believe that you are possessed by a demon or experiencing mental health issues, please visit a licensed mental health professional.
Yes.
In fact, there is the I've forgotten the name. Well, there's the I almost said Beyond Belief Network. What am I thinking of? We reference it every show. Daryl Ray's organization. How am I blanking on this? Producers, please say the name of the thing in my ears right now because I can't remember what it is. Recovering from Religion. Thank you. Derek, who is not a producer at the moment. Yeah, Recovering from Religion.
I think they're still watching Avengers.
Yeah, they have the Secular Therapist Project as well, so you'll get a therapist that's not going to try and tell you that you're possessed by a demon. Because the odds are with therapy, medication, treatment, you can live a normal life.
Yep.
Don't be afraid of demons. All right, so our next story, why don't you introduce us to Joshua Harris?
Yeah, so this is a CNN story submitted by Brian Wilson. Beach Boys. Is that a Beach Boys?
Thank you, Brian.
Via the TheNonProphets email. And this is a pastor who wrote a best-selling relationship book, says his marriage is over and he is no longer a Christian. Joshua Harris is the author of I Kissed Dating Goodbye, which railed against sex before marriage and homosexuality, sold over 1 million copies, and became a fixture in Christian youth groups after coming out 22 years ago. So we're going in this kind of quarter of a century type of thing.
After the book came out, by the way, not him. So,
he has now refuted all of the findings of that book.
Yeah, he's kissed dating goodbye.
Yeah, and his Christianity.
Or he has kissed I kissed dating goodbye would be the thing. Well, yeah, he said he's fallen away, I think was the phrasing.
He says, I've lived in repentance for the past several years, repenting of my self-righteousness, my fear-based approach to life, the teaching of my books, my views of women in the church, and my approach to parenting, to name a few.
Wow.
He wrote in a post.
Surprisingly self-aware.
Yep. He also says, to all LGBTQ plus community, I want to say that I am sorry for the views that I have taught in my books and as a pastor regarding sexuality. I regret standing against marriage equality, for not affirming you or your place in the church, and for any ways that my writing and speaking contributed to a culture of exclusion and bigotry. I hope you can forgive me. He's also announced the ending of his 21-year marriage after realizing that significant changes have taken place in both of us.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether the CNN coverage of it mentioned it, but he did say recently as well that he's not, I've deconverted or, I don't believe in Jesus, but he's, I think, fallen away is a phrase that he referenced as well at one point.
Does he go into greater detail?
No. In a place where I would find my own faith really shaken. Right, so he's saying all of the things and indicating things in his mind that lead me to believe that...
It says while writing on Instagram, by all measurements that I have for defining a Christian, I am not a Christian.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, that was how I determined I was an atheist. Back in the day, I looked at myself and said, wow, I fit the definition. Okay, I guess that's what I am.
He's not used the A word yet.
Yeah.
Were you like a hardcore evangelical type Christian? Yes.
No, I never had religion.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a little kid, I thought it was entertainment for adults. I never believed it. I thought it was like Santa Claus for adults.
Yeah.
And then I found out, no, they actually believe it. And I went, holy crap. So...
It took me a long time to admit, but I am an abuse survivor of religious abuse, as well as sexual and all that nasty stuff. But
I mean, so hopefully, I mean, in an ideal world, Mr. Harris would see this, but yeah, reach out. We're here for you. Jamie at atheist-community.org. Or find me on Twitter, Jamie the Heathen. Or find me on Instagram at Jamie the Heathen. I am an artist.
He has stick figure avatars.
I do not have stick figure avatars. My face is my first piece of art. It's fantastic. Right. That was the most vain sentence I've ever said in my life.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's interesting because it's not just like a best-selling like relationship book, right? Like he's the son of what is his name?
Pastor
Dude?
Yeah, of Greg Harris, who sort of kicked off the whole homeschooling movement and the purity movement and all of this.
Ugh.
Like, yes, so all of that, ooh, should we even hold hands? Purity movement crap. This is right there, right in the center of it, influential of it, the homeschooling movement, Covenant Life Church, all of this. And he sort of stepped away from that. Although this isn't the first time in his life where he's been in a situation that was shitty and his latent humanism has trumped his Christianity, because he was the senior pastor at Covenant Life Church at 30. And in 2015, he announced his resignation from that role due to a desire to broaden his views and connect to other parts of Christianity. He said the isolation of covenant life and a small cluster of churches of which it was a part, which is how these sort of fundamentalist cults form, may have fed leadership mistakes, including the decision of pastors, himself among them, to handle a child sex abuse case internally instead of going to police. So for all of the people that want to defend the mishandling of child rape cases by this religious institution or that religious institution, or even secular institutions that go, oh, well, they were there, they felt trapped, they had these institutional pressures. I really understand that as an influence on a person's choice. That doesn't make the wrong choice right. You go to the police.
Right.
And I think that at this point, Josh Harris would probably agree with me on that one. And good on him for resigning from that position on that basis. Good for you. Reach out. I think it would be great to have a conversation.
We're seeing a lot of this normalization within religion of the LGBT plus Q community. And to me, this is hopes that this is the death rattle of this old generation of bigots and haters within I mean, we're never going to get rid of religion totally.
Right.
But we're purging it. There's a purge going on that because they are not going to survive with the same ideals and the same conduct that they've been going. The secretive, the way they're doing things is just not working.
Right. Culture will move ahead without them.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, people say things like, we're never going to get rid of religion altogether. We're never going to get rid of religion altogether. I don't know where that statement, that conclusion, or that sentiment comes from, or
reality.
No, I don't think that it does, because it's a prediction about the future. But so it can't be said to be.
If I could demon possess you, then I can predict the future.
I don't think you can do either of those things. One, you said you were only capable of doing that after your death, and are sort of.
He has a point. There are religions that are dead.
Yes.
Yes.
So
and there are new ones born.
It is possible that they can die.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
but new ones are born. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And the number of people that are without them increases.
Yes. And of course, every believer thinks, oh, well, the only reason those other ones die was they weren't true.
The false ones.
Mine was true. Mine's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you had.
Well, this brings up kind of another interesting point. So we're seeing a normalization of the LGBT community in the Western civilizations, their societies. the church, the religious institutes, they've lost the war on, I forgot what we call that type of war, but that war of...
the gay war.
The gay war, yeah.
They've
and now,
lost the great gay war.
And now
They're losing.
they've lost that war, the popular war, the popular opinion.
Yeah.
And now they're moving to Africa.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
The missionaries.
Well, they've been doing missionary work in Africa for a long time, but
They've upped it.
They've upped it, yeah,
They've upped
because
it. They
that's
were-
where
they were-
it can be effective. Right,
I mean,
the
you have
Methodist Church. That's why they
Yeah.
are cracking down on that because they have a larger influence from their communities on the African continent.
I know that some of the
tend to be more
the
conservative.
missionaries have been declared war criminals because they were so involved in the politics. They were involved in the attempt to have gay sex as a death penalty. I think now it's just life imprisonment. But
You're talking about in Uganda
yes,
specifically. Yeah, I forget that guy's name. He has been to
That sounds like a
several
valid
countries.
valid identification there. Yeah,
Yeah.
war criminal, sure.
you have them burning their children as witches.
Yeah.
God. Right.
Yeah, or worse, it's the
Cause some suffering.
So they're
It's,
going where they're being stamped out. They've lost.
well, the world is waking up to the reality that humans are humans in large part. I mean, I wouldn't say don't become complacent and feel like you shouldn't be involved and help with that. The reason
Right.
that's happening is that more people are involved in helping with that. But yeah, at the present moment, the gay war appears to be going well.
Keep our fingers
Hey,
crossed.
gay war, trademark.
But of course, that's a supernatural thing. So
Look for the banner with the
The
stick
gay
figure.
war.
I'll
is
continue to wear my lucky shirt. Yeah, that's a.
yeah.
The stick figure holding a gay.
Wait, what is a supernatural thing? The gay war or
No, keeping your fingers crossed.
oh yeah. Where does that come from? Do you know?
No, I don't know where it comes from.
It comes from you take your fingers like this and you cross them.
your fingers and stick them behind your back
it's
when
a
you're
witch
telling
thing,
a
I
lie,
think.
when you're trying to scam somebody.
It's a witch thing.
It's a witch thing.
Oh, could be. Could
What?
You want to hear something funny?
believe
I have a
it.
confession on
All right.
nonprofits today. I have a confession. I have a confession.
Ha 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 ha. No gods. All right. What do you want?
I have no problem taking the Lord's name in vain,
be. Yeah.
blasphemy,
Yeah.
all of that. I have no problem. But you cannot get me in a darkened bathroom and say Bloody Mary 10 times.
Are you? I thought it was 3.
No, that's if you say it backwards.
What?
Wow. Okay.
You gotta have
Mary
a handle.
I'm not
Bloody or
familiar
like-
with the minutia of this.
It has to be at 3 a.m.
Local time?
It's the witching hour, where she died, I think.
Oh wow.
So, what time zone did this person die in again? I'm going to test this. It's going to be the most weird video ever because
You're going to
half it's
test
gonna
that?
be- yeah, you know what? I'm going to
It
test
was nice knowing you.
Yeah, I'm going to test it. I'm going to go.
We're never going to
live.
see you again.
Yeah,
I'm going to miss you.
I think you are. Where did this person? You're going to make me research this urban legend.
I am.
Yeah,
You,
makes sense.
I am.
Tit.
You'll be the expert.
And while you're at it, do the Candyman too.
What? Okay, I've heard of the
Yes.
Bloody Mary one. What is Candyman?
I
gotta
did a
say
whole
him 3
movie
times.
based on that one.
Yeah, you got to say it 3 times.
All right.
That one you got to say 3 times.
So 3 times where? What is
In-
it?
in a bathroom.
In a dark bathroom.
In a mirror.
All right. So what objects are needed to be in a room for it to be a bathroom? It needs a toilet and a sink, and that's it. And a mirror.
Yeah.
What if it does? Does it need a bath?
Oh,
Like a
don't be
bathtub?
ridiculous.
I'm just trying to qualify. Does it have to have been used ever? Like if it's
The bathroom?
Yeah. What if
I
it's a
hope
new-
you would clean it if you're going to die in there.
No. What if it's a new one? Like what if a person has just
think-
built a house?
I think Bloody Mary would appreciate it if it was a brand new bathroom.
Right.
Well, I don't think that that's a real thing.
She ain't Stinky Mary.
It's
So
not
what-
really
Mary.
the
so what-
status
so-
of the bathroom. It's more the dark and the mirror. So.
All right, so what you're saying is if you never flush your toilet, you will be safe from Bloody Mary because
No, I don't
she will
think
avoid the
that's
stink.
Yeah, but then you got to watch out for Caca Mary.
You're not just
Now he's
making
making
up
shit
more
up.
urban legends. Stick with the ones that exist. What is this Candyman thing? Dennis, you've heard of
Yes.
the Candyman?
Yes.
So it's not another thing that Bullshit McGee over
No,
here
no,
has
no.
invented?
There was an actual movie made about that.
Well, there's a
Man,
movie
yes.
made about a lot of things.
Yes, there is.
Is
but-
it just the same thing as Bloody Mary?
Yes.
But you say Candyman?
Yeah, basically.
What's the difference? What do they do?
He has a hook.
I
and
Yeah.
bees and bees.
And
Why?
bees involved.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
I
is he
didn't
called
write the
Danny?
damn thing.
Then why?
Don't ask us.
All right.
You know what? When you say it in your bathroom, you'll find out.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I
That
choose to
nothing
be
will happen.
And it was
Go
nice
ahead.
knowing you.
I have every reason not to believe that that's. Also, something like this happened in the show Supernatural, I think, which therefore means it's not real.
I'll tell your mama that you loved her.
You don't know my mama.
What'd you say about my mama?
I don't want to know what you said about my
I
mama.
want to say, Mama Boone. I told him not to do it.
God,
I told him not to do it.
She hates being called mama. So.
I told him not to do it, but he did it anyway. And now he's splattered all over the wall.
Oh my!
It
Are
depends
you
on who you call.
practicing-
Who are you gonna call? Is it gonna be Mary or is it gonna be Candyman?
What do they do? Do I get killed differently if I call one versus the other?
I don't know.
No.
And then you're not supposed to watch the video that gets mysteriously delivered to you in the mail.
Okay, that is the ring. I think.
Yes, it is.
And there's no.
Do you
Check
answer
your
your phone or you
local
just only
wells.
text? Because if she calls you and it goes 7 days.
No, I feel like they need to refilm that for the modern era where it's more realistic. Where it's like, I don't know this number. Bloop. It's like a voicemail. I don't check that. It's like someone is trying to send you a text message, blocked from unknown number. What are you talking about? Text message.
Right.
7 days. It's like, oh, you've written the word out. It doesn't count now. I don't know. No, it's just the word 7.
Is it 7 business days?
7 business days.
Business days.
What if Monday's a bank holiday? Does it
That's
still count?
awesome.
Yeah. Does it?
Oh, that's funny.
Does it count the Lord's Day? Yeah.
Right.
Is it Eastern or Central time? Because what if I give you 7 days while I'm in Central and you're in Eastern? Does that mean you get an extra hour?
I think it's 168 hours from the phone call,
Okay.
Okay.
which is the
Wow.
equivalent of 7 24-hour periods.
Yeah.
Okay.
You seem stunned because I actually have an answer for this. Like that would be my assumption. Give me a gavel.
You did the math in your head so
I have made a
fast.
ruling on precisely that one part of this.
No, I'm stunned that you're going to do it.
Why? I'm gonna create content.
don't believe this
put it
stuff.
on-
I'm telling you, all
I
that's
can do
gonna-
it.
They're going to open the bathroom door and all it's going to be is a pink headband.
just everything else gone.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, that's dependent on who you do.
Which one
You
disappears
pick.
me?
You pick.
I choose how I get killed after they've shown up. What is okay?
Well,
If I summon Bloody Mary, what does Bloody Mary do?
she gets you.
That's not.
Gets you. Much the same as the boogeyman, I presume.
Oh, don't even bring up him.
My God.
Ooh, Lord.
Are there actual specific things about the boogeyman?
Oh,
that-
God, I have
He's
no
either in your
idea.
closet or under the bed.
What? Really?
Oh, God, yeah.
There's
Monsters
way more
under the
room in my
bed.
closet than under the bed.
Boogeyman come out.
Does the boogeyman wield firearms if he finds them in your house?
No, he's just a shadow, dude. Come on.
I don't know. All right, educate me. Tell me about the boogeyman just a little bit. Come on.
Oh, if you don't do what you're told, he gets you.
Yeah, he gets you.
What do you mean?
Gets you seems to
gets
be the
ya?
thing.
That means he's gets you. And your thing is not to get got, because if he gets you, you've gotten got, and you can't get that back again.
Don't want to get got by good get got by boogeyman. Basically, yeah. All right. And if I don't finish my food, Selenia, the pickle man, is going to come.
Now you're being ridiculous.
No, that is a reference to
when
Rick
you
and
were a
Morty,
little kid,
and therefore true.
When you were a little kid and your parents would go, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you, and you'd shriek and run around.
It was just that.
Basically,
So he's a tickle monster. is
yeah,
what
he's
you're
a tickle
telling me.
monster. There
So
you
I'm gonna
go.
get
When the
tickled.
boogeyman gets you, he blows raspberries on your stomach and then tickles you.
Yeah.
That actually I might run from because
Okay.
I'm
Do
not
you
about
still feel uncomfortable with your feet hanging over the side of your bed?
No,
Not anymore, no.
not anymore. I got a longer bed.
And the floor isn't lava anymore either, so it's like,
Yeah, that is.
It's
a
not
fun
just lava, it's
game.
hot
that
lava.
is a fun game.
And it's not
Floor
just lava,
is
it's hot
lava.
lava.
Yeah.
It's hot lava.
Hot lava. Yeah.
That is actually one of my favorite episodes of Community, where he's like, "We're gonna play the floor,
The floor is lava. And you have to
Yeah,
get on
he's
all
like,
the-
and there's a whatever prize for those that win. Backpack, you can't use backpacks, chair, whatever this. And it's like it starts at 3. It was great. Chair walkers attack. If you watch all of Community, and you will understand how many references I casually throw into my conversation.
I have seen a video on social media where a special effects artist did a bunch of this stuff with his little kid.
Created the boogeyman.
And so his kid was in a room where the floor was lava, and the kid's leaping from the hassock to the couch and doing stuff like this, and it looks totally good.
Oh yeah, he did a bunch of them.
He did a bunch of them. Yeah, different things.
Is it Captain Disillusion?
I don't know.
Did you see the one where he did of Alien?
No, I don't
Where he
think
tells
so.
the kid to go throw the trash, and it's like an alien egg hatchery thing.
No,
and
I'll have
queen
to
is in
check
the
more
trash
for
can.
those. Wow, that's cool.
It's really good.
Yeah, the thing I saw recently that impressed me was the trailer for the next Pixar movie, where this guy goes out to throw out the trash, and they left the lids off of the trash, and so there's all these unicorns rooting around in the trash. And when he goes, shoo, get out of here, they do what I guess raccoons do, and they got low and hissed and then scampered off and stuff like that. It was
what?
Guys going, unicorns. Ugh. The next Pixar movie is one where it's in a world where the next Pixar movie is what takes place in a world of fantasy world, but it's modern day fantasy world.
With raccoon unicorns.
So
with unicorns taking the place of raccoons and yeah.
So all right. So,
but I was just impressed by the animation quality because the unicorns were tripping over the trash cans in their efforts to get away and stuff like that. It was beautifully done.
How were the unicorns horse-sized?
Yeah. Small horse-sized, pony-sized, I guess.
Were they
normal
rooting
unicorn
around
size.
in the trash?
That's not normal unicorn size. Normal unicorn size is the size of a full horse.
They might have been full horse. I didn't.
Maybe they're My Little Pony unicorns.
Those are ponies.
Stick a horn on them.
It was just a side
Then they're
gag,
pony
and it was
coins.
done really well.
I hope Bloody Mary gets you good.
You didn't say the boogeyman gets me.
Oh, they all gonna get you.
Now, what happens if the boogeyman says Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror at night?
So they have a baby, and that's called the kukui.
If a boogeyman loves a Bloody Mary very, very much,
Oh my God!
I'm not making up. The kukui is real.
This is bullshit. You're making this up.
The kukui, and he has a pet of the chupacabra.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna do this. I spell kukui right now. CUCUY. El Kukui monster. The boogeyman. Oh God! Is it real? It looks like it's real.
Oh snap!
No, there's
Dun,
Coco.
dun, dun.
So the Coco is from like Cuba.
Mythical ghost monster equivalent to the boogeyman found in. What do you mean equivalent to the boogeyman?
yeah.
Yep. It's the
Does
boogeyman.
Wikipedia just have a standard?
So it's called the Kuka.
Boogeyman has an article. Mythical creature used by adults to frighten children into good behavior. Boogeyman has no specific appearance, and conceptions vary drastically by household and culture. Okay, that's Boogeyman.
And he gets you.
Coco, also known as Kuko, Coca, Kuka, Kukui, or Kukue, mythical ghost monster equivalent to the Boogeyman, found in many Hispanophone and Lusophone countries. What is Lusophone?
What is a lusophone?
Lusophones are an ethno-linguistic group of peoples and nations across the world that speak the Portuguese language. Okay. So it's stuff, considered Iberian version of a bugbear. What?
Bugbears.
Legendary creature type of hobgoblin comparable to the... How many different things
this
that
goes-
are just the
well,
fucking boogeyman?
You're now going
Oh
down.
my God. You know what?
This
you know
is
what
called a rabbit hole.
This
and
is
you're going
called,
down.
I'm going down a wiki rabbit hole. It's magical. We could do this.
Yes, you could do this forever.
We're gonna do this, but you know what this tells me is that people have not known about how the world really works for a long time, and parents have always gotten to a point where they just can't deal with this shit anymore with their
Right,
kids.
so they have to threaten
Listen
their
to
children.
what I say
with
and
their
do
life.
it, or
Yeah.
the boogeyman kukui bugbear attacker is gonna get you. Just get in the fucking
Right.
bed and go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned
And then-
today.
Get you.
And then there's the La Llorona.
La Llorona?
Yeah.
I think I've heard of this one. Is it
haven't heard of that.
distinct? If it is a boogeyman equivalent, I'm going to be disappointed. How do you spell blah, blah, blah?
I don't know. They just made a movie of her. I think it's La Rona, Llrona.
Oh, yeah, I typed La and it was the first suggestion. Real quick, hang on.
She gets you by the water.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
okay.
the Weeping Woman river
yeah.
thing again.
Yeah, if you go by the water, that's where she gets you.
Yeah, or the... You're just saying that because
Get
you
ya.
know it's going to get into... Oh, so go and get you. Go and get got. Don't get got.
Don't get got by the river.
The oral story represents Aurora as a person, legend, ghost, goddess, metaphor, and symbol. Oh, my God.
Well, I mean, they get you like the rhythm gets you,
No, they get you like you've been got.
Oh, okay.
And once you've been got, you've been gotten.
But the rhythm is going to get you.
Okay.
Did I tell you that I was a survivor of emotional
of a boogeyman
abuse?
attack? you got attacked by a boogeyman, is what you're going to tell me? And you had to fight it off?
Yeah, it was called Pastor Carl.
Wow.
That is...
Well, that went dark really quick.
Yeah, that's a boogeyman you don't threaten your children with. That's...
Well, back when you were telling your cat story, I'm sitting there going, okay, who's cutting onions here? Because... Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I've got I know it. I've got a
Well, if you think
necropolis
about
on
it-
top of our refrigerator.
But if you think about it, the ultimate boogeyman in Christianity is the devil.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
had dreams of this bastard.
Shit.
And not just the devil, but of Jesus. We were scared of Jesus. You were taught to fear God, to fear Jesus. I feared the rapture. I had dreams of me being raptured and my parents left behind and vice versa.
Damn.
I had dreams about flying scorpions that would sting you for 5 months. All sorts of things. Revelations 9:15.
Yeah. Well, that sort of puts the boogeyman and Bloody Mary to rest. They're pikers compared to this.
Well, no, but they're whatever you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Whatever a child could possibly imagine, which is
Yeah.
usually nothing specifically, right?
Yeah, nothing, non-specific horror.
Yeah. It's also, so two things. One, for La Llorona, it is said that when her wails sound near, she is actually far. And when she sounds distant, she's actually very near.
Wow.
Fuck you.
Wow.
I'm just like, come on.
Well, how does she get you?
I don't care.
We no longer care.
Great. Now I have to do content on, let me look at all the various versions of the boogeyman.
I know that
and why
mermaids grab
they're-
you and carry you down, so, yeah.
The sirens?
Wait, I thought that was a different monster. No, the sirens sing and draw sailors into the rocks.
Right.
Which is
I thought they
which
hypnotized
is
them off the
a
boat.
parent's way
Smash the boats,
of
yeah.
telling their teenage son, watch out. So that's all. Just because she's hot doesn't mean she's good for you. That
do we
actually
have any-
that crosses genders. Yes.
Do we have any mail?
Oh, we have mail, don't we? Let us get to that mail.
We have one.
Okay.
Let me pull it up here.
I'm gonna say thank you for saving me from the boogeyman that done got me for the last 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, we should rename the show Rabbit Hole and just go down wherever our things lead us and keep going off side tangents.
That's my show.
You got it set up. I'd like to be a guest appear on the show. It sounds
Rabbit hole.
Fantastic.
I know. I already have my theme music. Be cuckooey.
That's ba-da-da-da-ba-ba, cuckooey.
Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Lorona.
Ba-da-ba-ba,
Bloody
boogeyman.
Mary.
Tequila.
The more tequila you drink, the more likely you are to see the boogeyman.
Google.
All right. What's our listener mail?
All right, we got an email from Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
Chuck wants to know,
Right.
what does a God do for fun? Can an
Oh,
omniscient and
yeah.
omnipotent being have fun? He's memorized every possible book, play, and movie. He knows the optimum strategy for every board game. He can't learn a new skill since he has them all. He can't solve a difficult problem since nothing is difficult. He knows he's right in any discussion or debate. He can't prove himself in any way. He has no physical needs to satisfy. He doesn't doesn't he face eternal boredom?
Oh man,
If he is
he's only scratched the surface.
So I think I have a solution to this,
What's that?
which is if he is maximally powerful, then surely he can create divine tequila and get drunk and therefore be unable to do half of the things listed
Well,
and forget things and erase his own
I
memory.
don't think so.
Temporarily.
No.
Why not? Why
The
can't
same
he?
reason he can't create a rock so big he can't lift it.
I think that he
Getting
can.
drunk is a weakness, and he can't have those.
It doesn't say that. It's maximally powerful. You can make yourself weak.
But isn't it
But
God
he flew
exists
too close
outside
to
of
the
reality,
sun and
whatever
realized
that
that
means?
it's he flew too close to the sun and then realized you can have much more fun as an idiot than as an omniscient being, and there's no God now because he made himself dumb.
The way I look at it, it's like, oh yeah, no, he doesn't even think. The God can't think because thinking is a process, and the God doesn't have to wait for a process. The God doesn't have to deal with process. The thoughts are already there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the God is basically a hello program. I mean, if he's eternal, then he always knew every action that he takes. And so he's just following a list of things he does. And he doesn't have to think them up.
That's a matrix shit right there.
Yeah, he doesn't have to think anything up because it was already there when he was created. Or he was never created. It's always been there. He's always known everything he does.
Is that different?
And I'm trying to phrase it to get rid of as much, temporal boundaries out of it as I can. He knows everything he does already. And already adds a temporal boundary, but he knows everything. So he's just following rote. He's just doing what he knows he does, and it's horrible.
Okay, so
he can't even think.
I mean, I understand that, but if your maximally powerful God can make himself into a human by birthing himself through a virgin or whatever, if that's something that doesn't defy,
that didn't really happen.
I know that none of this happened, but don't reality shame me here right now, okay? So if he can do that, then surely, well, one, create a human that half the time doesn't know he's a god because he's praying to himself or whatever.
Right.
Then surely he could make himself a human that doesn't know everything, like on a temporary basis, and then gets drunk and or high or trips on acid.
Can he limit himself artificially?
Well, no. I mean,
it's part of the list of things he does. He does.
Well, he can't do anything artificial because he's natural.
Yeah, he can't do anything spontaneous because there's no such thing as spontaneity in the God's existence.
Yeah. Well, sure, but if he is also everything and oneness, but then he's also already all the humans.
Yeah.
So Jesus isn't special because we're all Jesus. Boom. No. Then if he is Jesus, I'm sticking with my drunk gods.
The horrible thing.
Do you know your Nordic legends at all?
Oh,
they're
no,
always
I don't.
getting drunk and having fun.
Good enough.
And if you go south of there to Greece, they're sleeping with their sisters and having a good time.
Right.
And Medusa.
And Medusa.
Yeah.
I forgot. Wait. She.
Clash of Titans, man.
Oh. Modern. That's fan fiction. That's not canon, so it doesn't count.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, what are you gonna do? Haunt me as a demon?
Excuse me?
If
I'll turn you to stone with one look. Actually,
I will summon La Llorona.
Funny story. Clash of the Titans is
actually
the beginning, the seeds of my atheism. It's the 1980s.
Oh, really?
The 1980s movie was acceptable to be seen by my parents, and I did see it. And that was the first realization that there were other religions with other gods that had their own stories.
Interesting.
And I pursued that vigorously because they were much cooler stories.
Yeah.
Perseus and the real story of Perseus, that was a nasty motherfucker. And Athena, and she was cool. I liked Athena.
Yeah.
And it was an eye opener that there was nothing different from this mythology than from this holy scripture other than the term. And that led to my skepticism, that led to my atheism to today.
Yeah. That's strange, because when I was a little kid, they played Littlest Angel at school, right? You know, and I looked at that and went, oh, it's a movie. It's fiction. And so I understood, oh, okay, so religion is Santa Claus for adults. Yeah. Okay, cool. The fact that it was a movie, you know, helped cement the fact that I didn't believe in any.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was when I realized that this movie was based upon a series of stories that one time were a religion.
Right, and people believed them.
And they believed it. And it
don't.
sowed the seed that what's the difference between these stories and the ones that I'm hearing now? Other than those gods are way cooler.
Way cooler. They actually knew what sacrifice was, too.
Yep.
Way more.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you look at, is it Prometheus? Tied to the rock, getting his liver torn out?
Yes,
for
because
giving
he brought
fire to man?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, having your liver torn out forever, that's a freaking sacrifice.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, getting a tour of hell for 3 days and coming back, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were to come to you, if I were Jamie, you, and I said, if I were to torture you and inflict imaginable pain for a day and kill you, and you got to come back in 2 days, 3 days, and you became the king of the universe, would you accept that deal?
If I believed that it was true.
Yeah. It's the deal of the century.
I mean,
it's not
And if you came back as the king of the universe, would you be nice to me?
I would haunt you. That's as a demon. I would assign to you a demon that as soon as you were like, yeah, you know what, I want to see this movie, it would spoil the ending for everything.
Okay. Well, then I'll die and stick the kukui on you to get
Yeah.
you.
Well, La Llorona beats
excellent question,
Kukui.
man. I thought I came up
What
with
we
that.
need
That was
is
good.
we need to have like a fictional folklore bullshit trading game, basically.
Or storytelling. That's called Hawke 1. That's my YouTube channel.
Yeah. So there's that. There's Hawke 1.
Yes.
Is in Killa or Killer? Hawke 1.
Yes.
Hawke 1.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. I was just confused. I wasn't just repeating your brand name.
Not Kilo Hawk.
Not Kilo.
Okay.
Killa. Right. In the same way.
No essay. No.
K-I-L-O.
1
Cholo
kilo.
hawk.
1 kilo of ground hawk meat.
Oh.
Yeah, and Dennis, here's his main.
Don't go destroying his spirit animal here. Come on.
I'm not destroying the spirit ones. I'm destroying the ones that actually exist.
They used to call me Chicken Hawk when I was a little boy.
Oh.
I know.
Why?
That's no good.
Just because you were afraid, or
Longhorn, Leghorn.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
is that because you were afraid, or because you took a very hard pro-war stance despite having not served in Vietnam?
No, because I was the mouthy little one, always in a chattering.
It's okay. I was Dennis the Menace.
Okay.
What? Now I'm confused because Chicken
Looney
Hawk.
Tunes. It's a Looney Tune thing.
Yeah, it is.
I watched Looney Tunes. Oh, was Foghorn Leghorn the little one? It was
and he
called
was
Chicken
always
Hawk?
being tormented by the chicken hawk.
Yeah.
The little
Really?
one.
I forgot that was
Yeah.
called Chicken Hawk.
Chicken Hawk.
Maybe it's
Remember the
because-
buzzards? My mama done told me.
Oh boy, yeah. You don't see those very often
And
anymore.
the mother was like this real Italian. The beaches.
Oh God.
So
Yes.
evidently I remember Looney Tunes very
Cartoon
differently.
racism. Yay,
I was gonna
for the
say,
win.
For whatever reason, I've
God.
forgotten all the cartoon racism.
Yeah.
But
Arriba.
I suppose
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the era
Oh,
of
man.
re-examining cartoon racism.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to say it right now. Pepe Le Pew was a fucking rapist.
Yeah, it was
He-
super racist.
He molested that poor
And I
black
was the
cat.
French kid. Yes.
Wait. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Were
My
you
father was from France, man.
like straight up speaking
Yeah.
French?
Straight up Paris, France.
Oh, do you speak French?
No. Apparently, I used to as a tiny kid, as a toddler. I spoke French, but no longer.
I can imagine a little Dennis going,
Oh yeah. Oh well, when I visited
Sacre bleu.
when I visited relatives in France, I learned just how far you can get with oui. Man, you can go so far with oui.
I thought it was wee wee.
No. Works
That's
great.
yes.
Oui.
The word is oui.
Yeah. Oui.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, I imagine is the same as Dracula saying,
Blah, blah.
blah, 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 blah. I don't say that. They never said that.
You're not Romanian.
Cartoon racism
But my
away from
father,
me.
he would go, oh, man, and so.
Yeah.
So, was a thing they would say a lot. Yes.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Alors. Yeah.
Alors. Yeah. Got my. Oh, alors. I think that we can proceed to
Yes?
some shit internet apologists say this week. More Catholics hating on gays. So
That was pretty.
thank you. Yeah. Well, actually,
How can they hate on gays? Seriously.
yeah. So, question:
What do
how
they
do you
say?
commemorate the 75th anniversary of fighting back against the Nazi regime? You preach about how you're under attack from the gays, obviously, right? Because Hitler. So yeah, it's a.
Well, you distract from the fact that, you.
Yeah. So it's Archbishop Marek Jedradzwelski. Wow, I feel like my mispronunciation is probably.
Add that to your list. Did you say in the mirror in the bathroom? The Jabberowski's going to get you.
Zedrazowski. It's probably just a normal Polish last name that I can't pronounce.
Yeah.
He'll get you.
He delivered a sermon in which he targeted LGBTQ IA plus people as
that's
enemies of the state.
Wow.
Yeah, because they're under siege. So a quote, our land... Oh, I need a voice for this person that I haven't thought of.
Oh, my.
No, it's not a good one. It's a... Our land is no longer affected by the Red Plague, which does not mean there is not a new one that wants to control our souls, hearts, and minds. He told a mass in the medieval St. Mary's Basilica, one of the most important churches for Polish people. Not Marxist Bolshevik, but born of the same spirit. Neo-Marxist, not red, but rainbow. He was quoted as saying by a private keeper. So, according to him, Poland no longer has to worry about Nazis because they've been defeated. So, now people...
So he's going to be his own little personal Hitler.
Yeah, no, gay people. I don't think he says gay people are Hitler, but like...
No, he's Hitler.
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of. But I mean, he's Polish, so throwing around that...
That's what they
Polish
do.
He's
person.
talking about the gays like Hitler spoke of the Jews.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hesitate to call people Hitler now because this is going out on the internet, and that tends to undercut your point somewhat. But I think we can agree.
I think the guy who invented what's the law? If you bring up the Nazis, you lose.
Lose the debate.
What's it called?
No, it's...
Because the guy who came up with that law kind of softened the restrictions recently.
No, he said it's Godwin, right?
Yeah, Godwin.
Godwin's law is over time, the odds that on a conversation on the internet, the odds that someone references Hitler or the Nazis approaches 1. Right, out of 1. So there was some pushback.
I go right there now.
Yeah, by evidently a prominent atheist in Poland, Robert Biedroń. There's an accent on the N, so I don't know how to pronounce anything in this story. Who also happens to be gay and recently launched his own political party to counter the religious majority.
That makes sense.
So, good job, Robert. Contact the show if you want to hear about it. I know there's a Polish version of the Atheist Experience that launched. Maybe they watch this. If they do, send him a message. It'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to talk about this. I like talking to people. But anyway, Robert Biedroń, I don't know what his actual voice sounds like, so he gets one from me, we already had such people, politicians who used similar words and that lead to huge slaughters, genocide. This is an incitement to crime, to hatred. He told news website.
Yeah, he sees it clearly.
Yeah, that's very butch.
Yep. Yeah, you can tell he's a good guy. Yeah. He's right, and then it's the point that you were making, which is,
Wow, I didn't realize it was prescient there. So yeah. He saw it.
It's
like
very
I
prescient.
did.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, so the
Yeah. So
yeah.
well, actually, the shit internet apologists say kind of tries to focus on the shit that the internet apologist says
rather than the response. Well, so
unfortunately.
it's kind of tricky. Well, that and we're coming up on time, but it's also this is the same place where they burned copies of Harry Potter because it was
really,
and we're mocked internationally. Yeah.
Wow.
But watch out because there's a rainbow plague.
Rainbow
pestilence.
Well, no, his words were plague.
Plague.
Although it's possible that he was speaking in Polish, so this would be
Then it would be
translation.
pestilence.
I don't know that that's a Polish word. I don't know. It doesn't sound.
You're talking to the Bloody Mary expert. Trust me.
That doesn't make you fluent in Polish. That's not how any of this works. One, it doesn't work. Two, Bloody Mary is an American urban legend. Three, you're not fluent in Polish. Well, what?
I think she's English.
Oh, well, the Queen. Yeah.
Bloody
that's
Mary.
Right. That's where the urban legend is.
Blimey.
Summon the Queen,
Yeah.
and then she kills you because you're not Catholic or something.
Yeah. Well, she's going to come get you no matter what.
What if you're Catholic?
What?
She was Catholic. That was a thing. She killed
Why does that
people
matter?
because she's so Queen Mary. I'm gonna have flipped Catholic and Protestant in this. She was the Catholic one, and Elizabeth was Protestant. Sorry to everyone that fought in those religious wars if I've gotten your religion entirely wrong. They're interchangeable to me because so she was called Bloody Mary.
I don't think she's
Yeah.
Well, no, but the actual human that existed, right? The part of this that's real, because it was the
I don't think
religious.
It's real.
Okay. England is a country and is part of the United Kingdom, and its history has periods of time where Protestants killed Catholics because they were Catholic,
Yes.
and Catholics killed Protestants. Most recently, very recently, most prominently recently, in the 1970s. In one of those periods of time, we had Queen Mary. There was this queen, and her name was Mary, and she killed a bunch of people. At least that's what she's known for. I think it actually wasn't that many, but it was like she was executing people, and it was bloody or something. So they called her Bloody Mary as a queen. I'd forgotten that because you distracted me with your boogeyman, Laronia, Kukua, Mary, Mirror, or whatever.
Candyman.
Candyman. Your Candyman. Mary. Candyman. Cuckoo. I have no idea why the drink is called a Bloody Mary. But in any case, Dennis, I think it's about time for you to take us home.
Is it my time?
I believe the time has come for us to say
farewell. So, what did you think, he asked. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought, she admitted. He smiled. It wasn't great, she added with a smirk, but it wasn't bad. He snorted. Was it at least good enough to do it again in 2 weeks on the 21st of August? Don't you mean the 17th, she prodded. I was talking about the listeners. Uh-huh, sure you were.